Are you stuck in the same loop, working hard, earning just enough, yet never feeling free? Do you wake up wondering if this cycle will ever end or if you're just meant to struggle forever? Let me tell you, that mindset, that belief, it's the trap. You were never meant to just survive, you were meant to thrive. But here's the truth. Until you learn what the wealthy already know, nothing will change. This isn't about motivation, it's about transformation. It's about rewiring how you think about money, how you earn it, and how you keep it. Real wealth doesn't come from working more hours. It comes from learning new ways of thinking, ways that most people never even consider. This is your chance to change the game. No more guessing, no more waiting. We're going to dig deep, uncover what's been holding you back, and replace it with simple truths that can lift you higher. If you're tired of surviving, if you're ready to step into something better, this is it. Let's build the kind of mindset that makes being broke a thing of the past, forever. Let me tell you something that might sting a little. Hard work isn't your problem. You've been working, you've been trying, you've been pushing yourself day after day. But here's the truth. If hard work alone made people rich, every single construction worker, nurse, teacher, and factory employee would be wealthy. But they're not. Not because they don't deserve it, but because they were told a lie. From the time you were a kid, you were fed the same story. Work hard, go to school, get a job, and everything will fall into place. And you believed it. You followed the rules. You showed up. You did what you were told. But still, here you are, exhausted, stressed, and stuck in the same spot. Why? Because the system wasn't designed to make you rich. It was designed to keep you running in circles. Think about this. Schools teach you to memorize facts, follow directions, and show up on time. But when did they ever teach you how to manage money, how to grow money, how to think like someone who controls money, not just chases it? They didn't. They taught you how to fit in, not how to break out. And now you're left trying to figure it out on your own, trying to fill a bucket that's full of holes. You keep pouring in more hours, more effort, more energy, hoping it'll eventually fill up. But the problem isn't your hustle. It's the system you're hustling in. It's broken. It's built to drain you, not build you. That's why it's time to see things differently. Rich people don't work harder. They think differently. They use their time differently. They understand something that most people never do. Money isn't earned by effort alone. It's earned through value, through ownership, through creating something that works even when they don't. Let me ask you this. How many hours did you trade this week? How much of your life did you sell to earn just enough to get by? And how much of that energy went into building someone else's dream while yours stayed on hold? The truth hurts, but it also sets you free. Because once you know the game is rigged, you stop playing by its rules. You stop believing that more hours equals more freedom. You stop chasing paychecks and start creating power. You don't need more sweat, you need a new strategy. You need to build a mindset that questions everything you were taught about money. A mindset that doesn't settle for enough, but builds towards more. Not more greed, more freedom, more choices, more control over your time, your energy, your life. Because if you keep thinking the way broke people think, you'll keep living the way broke people live. That's not judgment, that's just fact. Broke thinking says, let me survive today. Wealth thinking says, how do I build something that lasts tomorrow? It's not about working harder, it's about learning smarter. It's about opening your eyes to the patterns around you. Who's getting ahead? What are they doing that you're not? I'll tell you, they're not stuck in the same loop. They've stepped out. They've learned how money works. They've built a new system, one that serves them, not one that uses them. So now, it's your turn. This is your wake-up call. You don't have to stay trapped in the lie. You don't have to keep pouring your life into a broken bucket. You can learn what the rich already know. You can build something different, something better, something lasting. But it starts here, right now, with one truth: hard work alone won't get you free. A new mindset will. Most people wake up and chase the same thing every day, a paycheck, not because they love the grind, not because they feel fulfilled, but because they have to, because bills don't stop, because mouths need to be fed, and somewhere along the line that became the goal. Just enough to get by, just enough to make it to Friday, just enough to survive until the next check hits the account. But let me tell you something, money is not the goal, it's the tool. It's not the finish line, it's the fuel. And when you treat it like the goal, you keep running in circles. You stay trapped in a system that was never meant to give you freedom. You get caught in the loop of working, spending, waiting, repeating, and that cycle never ends, not until you break it on purpose. Real success isn't about collecting more money, it's about collecting more freedom. It's about owning your time, owning your energy, waking up and deciding how your day looks, not waiting for someone else to approve it. And that kind of freedom doesn't come from trading hours for dollars. It comes from building something that doesn't need you to clock in every day to survive. How many people do you know who live for the weekend, who start counting down the moment Monday begins? That's not living, that's barely surviving. That's modern-day slavery with better lighting. You weren't born just to work, pay bills, and die. You were meant to create something bigger, something that moves with or without you. Here's the trap they don't talk about. Time is the most valuable thing you have. and most people trade it for just enough to stay afloat. They sell hours of their life in exchange for the ability to keep working. That's the deal. And if you don't stop and see it, you'll keep making that trade until there's nothing left to give. So ask yourself this: if money wasn't a worry, what would your life actually look like? Would you still be doing the same thing you're doing now? Would you still be saying yes to things that drain you? Or would you finally start building the life you actually want? Freedom means having a choice. It means waking up when you're rested, not when the alarm demands it. It means saying yes to what builds you and no to what breaks you. And that kind of life doesn't just happen. It has to be built one decision at a time. That starts by changing what you chase. Stop chasing checks and start chasing choices. Stop asking how to earn more and start asking how to own more of your day, your peace, your purpose. Start asking how to use money to create room, not more pressure. Because the truth is, money is just a tool. And like any tool, it's only as powerful as the person using it. It can build or it can bury. It can free or it can trap. And the difference comes down to one thing: are you using money or is money using you? You don't have to quit your job tomorrow. You don't have to throw everything away, but you do have to shift the way you see your future. You have to start building things that give back. You have to stop thinking in terms of hours and start thinking in terms of value. What can you create once and benefit from forever? What skill can you build that keeps paying you long after the work is done? Nobody hands you freedom. You build it. One smart choice at a time. One clear goal at a time. And every time you choose freedom over comfort, every time you choose growth over survival, you step closer to a life that doesn't rely on a paycheck to feel safe. So stop working for survival. Start working for sovereignty. Start taking back your time. Start building systems that don't require your sweat to run. Because once you understand that freedom is the real finish line, everything changes. You stop running in circles. You start walking in purpose. And the money, that starts working for you. Most people don't realize it, but the way they think about money is the reason they never have enough of it. It's not just about what you do, it's about how you think. And if your thoughts are stuck in survival mode, your life will be too. A broke mindset is sneaky. It hides behind fear, blame, and impulse. It shows up in the way you talk about money, the way you avoid planning, and the way you spend just to feel a little bit of control. It tells you there's never enough, so you grab what you can and pray it lasts. Fear says, what if I lose everything? Blame says, I can't get ahead because of them. Impulse says, I need to feel good right now, even if it costs me later. And survival, it says, just make it through today. Tomorrow's too far away to fix. That's the broke mindset. It's not about your bank account. It's about what you believe you're capable of building. And until you change that belief, nothing else will change either. But the good news, mindsets can be rewritten. They're not permanent. They're habits of thought. And just like any bad habit, they can be broken and replaced. That's where wealth mindset begins. It's not about greed. It's about growth. It's about vision, patience, long-term thinking. It's about choosing value over comfort, ownership over blame. It sees the big picture, not just the price tag in front of it. A broke mind asks, how much does it cost? A wealth mind asks, what does it give me in return? One is focused on the price. The other is focused on the value. And that one question, the one you ask every time you spend, invest, or decide, shapes your future more than you realize. Your money follows your mindset. Read that again. Your money follows your mindset. If your thoughts are short-term, reaction-based, and rooted in fear, your money will act the same way, disappearing fast, doing little, and leaving you stuck. But when your thoughts are focused on growth, patience, and value, your money grows the same way, slowly at first, then faster, then stronger. It starts to work for you, not just disappear on things you don't remember buying. Think of your thoughts like soil. Whatever you plant in them, doubt or discipline, fear or faith, that's what's going to grow. And your habits, they're just the fruit of those thoughts. So if you want better habits, don't just try harder, think better. Start by calling out the lies, the ones that say I'll always be broke, or people like me can't get rich, or it's too late to start. Stop letting those thoughts shape your reality. They're not facts, they're just seeds you've been watering for too long. It's time to rip them out and plant something new. You've got to break the idea that money is only for the lucky, or the born rich, or the highly educated. None of that matters as much as you think. What matters is what you believe about what's possible for you, because you can't build wealth with a poverty identity. You can't act rich while thinking poor. It won't stick. It won't last. It'll feel fake. You'll sabotage your own progress without even meaning to. Why? Because deep down you never believed it was really yours to have. And that belief is what holds people back. Not the economy, not their job, not their past, just their belief. So here's the question you've got to ask yourself today. What beliefs are keeping your bank account small? What thoughts are keeping your vision limited? What have you been telling yourself that sounds true, but keeps you broke? Be honest, be ruthless, because the sooner you face it, the sooner you can fix it. It's not easy to change how you think, but it's worth it. It starts with one truth. Repeat it again and again until it becomes your new default. Your money follows your mindset. And if you fix the way you think, your bank account will eventually catch up. Don't just chase the money, change the mind. That's where real wealth begins. Everybody wants more money, but very few are willing to build the habits that make it possible. It's not about getting lucky or catching the right moment. It's about doing the right thing over and over, even when it's boring, even when it's hard. That's the part most people miss. They think the secret to wealth is some big move or perfect opportunity. But in reality, it's the small, steady steps you take every day that make the biggest difference. Consistency is wealth's secret weapon. You don't have to make $1 million in one shot. You just have to make smart decisions often enough that they start stacking up. Start with one of the simplest but most powerful habits out there. Pay yourself first. Before you pay the bills, before you buy anything, put something aside for you, even if it's small. Because what you're doing isn't just saving money, you're building a habit that says your future matters more than your impulses. And don't just save to save, save to invest. Saving by itself is safe, but it doesn't grow. It just sits there losing value over time. Investing is what multiplies. Investing is what builds. Whether it's your skills, your business, or your money, put it somewhere that grows. Wealthy people don't save just to feel safe. They save to create power. And don't wait until things go wrong to build other ways to earn. You need to build multiple streams before you need them. Don't depend on just one income. That's like standing on one leg. You might stay up for a while, but the moment something goes wrong, you fall. Having multiple ways money can flow into your life gives you room to breathe. It gives you choices. It gives you strength. But here's the catch. None of this works if you can't delay pleasure. That's one of the hardest parts. Everyone wants to feel good now. Everyone wants to treat themselves, show off, live it up. But the ones who win in the long run are the ones who can say no now to have something bigger later. It's not about living poor. It's about choosing wisely. You can enjoy life without wasting everything you've worked for. Ask yourself this. If your current habits haven't made you wealthy, why keep them? If they've kept you stuck, stressed, or just getting by, why protect them? Let them go. Start new ones. The kind that build, not break. The kind that stretch you, not shrink you. Wealth isn't just about more money. It's about more control, more calm, more power to move the way you want. Let me tell you something simple and powerful. Treat your money like a seed, not a paycheck. A paycheck gets spent. A seed gets planted. A paycheck disappears. A seed grows. And every time you make a smart choice with your money, you're planting something. You might not see results tomorrow, but give it time. Keep watering it. Keep protecting it. Eventually it becomes something that feeds you for life. And don't forget this. Discipline creates freedom. Discipline creates freedom. Say it again until it sticks. Every time you say no to a quick thrill, every time you choose to save instead of spend, every time you push yourself to invest instead of relax, you are creating space for real freedom. Not just the freedom to buy things, but the freedom to sleep better, to move smarter, to live on your own terms. Most people think wealth is a result, but it's really a pattern, a rhythm, a way of life. You don't luck into it. You live into it. And that starts with building these simple, powerful habits that stack on top of each other and change your direction over time. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent. You just have to care about your future more than your comfort. So ask yourself, starting today, what habit can you build this week that your future self will thank you for? What can you change right now that sets you up for something better tomorrow? Because it's not about waiting for wealth to show up. It's about creating it one smart move at a time. And that power, it's already in your hands. Most people know how to earn money, but very few know how to make it work for them. That's the real game. That's the difference between staying stuck and stepping into freedom. It's not about how much you make. It's about what you do with it. Because if your money only moves when you move, you'll never stop working. You'll never stop grinding. But when you start building systems, when your money starts earning while you sleep, that's when life changes. Here's what you need to understand. Assets work for you. Liabilities work against you. Assets bring in money. Liabilities take it out. It's that simple. A rental property that pays you every month, that's an asset. A brand new car with a monthly bill that bleeds your income, that's a liability. And if you don't know the difference, you'll keep trading your freedom for things that don't pay you back. The truth is, most people never stop to ask what makes their money move or vanish. It slips through their fingers little by little, and they think they just need to earn more. But the answer isn't always more income. It's smarter moves. Every dollar has power. But that power disappears if it's not pointed in the right direction. And one of the biggest traps out there is lifestyle creep. That silent thief that shows up when your income goes up and so does your spending. You start earning more, but instead of saving or investing, you upgrade everything. bigger apartment, fancier car, more expensive habits. But here's the thing, if your lifestyle keeps growing with your paycheck, you never actually get ahead. You're just running faster in the same direction. That's not wealth, that's waste. Let me challenge you with this. If it's not making you money, it's costing you everything. That shirt you wore once, that phone you didn't really need, that loan for something that loses value the second you touch it, those are all weight pulling you down. Start asking this question before every purchase. Does this add to my future or take from it? You've got to learn the language of wealth, not just numbers but meaning. Learn what appreciation means. It's not just when something gets more valuable, it's how time and patience grow what you plant. Learn about cash flow, that steady stream of income that doesn't need your hands on it every second. Learn equity, what you own, what's growing in your name, even when you're not watching. This is where real control starts. When you stop just earning and start understanding. When you stop spending just because you can, and start using money like a builder uses tools. And you need to remember this line: buy assets, build income, create freedom. Say it again and again, make it your rule. If it doesn't build, it doesn't belong. If it doesn't pay you back, don't pay into it. Think of your money like soldiers. Every dollar is a soldier. Send it out to bring back more. Don't waste your soldiers on battles that don't matter. Don't send them into things that have no return. Put them to work. Let them fight for your future. That's how wealthy people win. They don't just work hard, they make their money work harder. Now stop and ask yourself this. Is my money building me a future or burying my potential? Be honest, because that one question can expose the trap or unlock the door. Are you building something that lasts, or are you burning everything you earn on things that don't last a year? You don't need to be rich to start. You don't need a six-figure income. You just need the mindset to stop trading money for status and start trading it for freedom. Freedom is what you're after, not to impress, not to show off, but to live on your terms. And that begins the moment you learn the game and play it smarter. Master the game, learn to leverage, not just earn, because earning alone keeps you working. But leverage, that gives you power. Power to grow, to expand, to build a life that doesn't rely on your effort alone. That's the game, and now you know how to win it. Most people think their success depends on how hard they work, how smart they are, or how much money they make, and yes, those things matter. But there's one thing that shapes your future even more than your effort: your environment, the people around you, the voices you hear every day, the energy you let into your space. That's what sets your direction. That's what builds or breaks your financial reality. You become what you hear, what you see, and who you trust. If you're constantly around people who complain, who settle, who spend recklessly and never grow, that mindset becomes normal. It becomes your standard, not because you want it, but because you're surrounded by it. And when that becomes your atmosphere, your actions follow. You don't rise, you match, you blend in even when you were built to stand out. Let me tell you something. Just because someone loves you doesn't mean they're good for your growth. Just because someone is close doesn't mean they're qualified to speak into your future. Stop listening to broke opinions and calling it advice. Stop letting small minds put limits on your big dreams. You don't need permission to rise. You need better voices in your corner. You can't climb with people who are addicted to the ground. You can't grow when your circle is comfortable staying small. They might mean well, but if they're stuck and you keep following them, you'll stay stuck too. You can't fly while carrying dead weight. You've got to cut the rope. You've got to make room for better conversations, better mindsets, better influence. It's time to audit your circle, upgrade your standards. Look around and ask yourself, do the people closest to me talk about ideas, growth, goals, wealth, or do they only talk about problems, drama, distractions? Because the direction of your life is shaped by the tone of your environment. And if you're surrounded by noise, you'll never hear the call to rise. Mentorship matters. Proximity matters. Who you're around determines what feels normal. If you hang around people who build businesses, who invest, who read, who think long-term, guess what starts to feel possible? That. But if you stay in circles that fear growth, avoid change, and spend more time surviving than planning, then that becomes your ceiling. And ceilings are meant to be broken. Motivation is good, but influence is stronger. It's not about hype, it's about habits. Being around the right people isn't just inspiring, it's transforming. They challenge you, they stretch you, they pull you into rooms you would have never walked into on your own. That's the power of proximity. So remember this: change your circle, change your future. Say it again: change your circle, change your future. That one shift could do more for your life than any book, course, or podcast ever could, because who you're around shapes what you believe is possible, and what you believe is possible shapes how you live. Ask yourself the hard question: who's keeping you broke, directly or indirectly? Who's feeding your doubts? Who's normalizing bad habits? Who makes you feel guilty for wanting more? And then flip it, who's pushing you to think bigger? Who makes you want to rise? Who shows you what's possible just by how they live? This isn't about cutting people off in anger, it's about choosing your future over your comfort. It's about putting yourself in rooms that speak life into your goals. Rooms where ambition isn't weird, where growth isn't mocked, where wealth isn't just talked about, it's taught, lived, and shared. The right people won't drain you, they'll build you. They won't doubt your dreams, they'll show you how to get there. So take control of your environment. Treat your circle like your financial foundation. If it's weak, your future wobbles. But when it's strong, when it's filled with people who stretch your vision, everything changes. Your environment is your economy. Build it with care, choose it with wisdom, and protect it like your future depends on it, because it does. Everything changes when you decide to become the kind of person who doesn't just make money, but keeps it, grows it, and multiplies it. You see, money doesn't chase effort, it chases identity. It follows how you think, how you act, and how you carry yourself. So the real question isn't how much you're making. The question is, who are you becoming? If you still see yourself as someone who's just getting by, then that's what your life will reflect. If you believe you're stuck, if you believe you're always behind, if you believe money is something that happens to other people but not you, then that belief will shape everything you do. But when you change your identity, your choices follow. You start thinking differently, walking differently, living differently. Because wealth starts in the mind, long before it shows up in your account. You are not your bank account. You are your mindset. You are your discipline. You are your vision. And when those things rise, your money rises with them. That's why it's not just about income, it's about identity. You have to become the kind of person who speaks wealth, lives wealth, and builds wealth. Say it again, speak wealth, live wealth, be wealth. That's how you shift your reality, not just by wishing, but by walking it out daily. You don't need to wait until you hit a certain number to start thinking like someone with power. You don't have to wait for proof. You lead with belief. You act like someone with financial strength, even when you're still building it. You save differently. You invest intentionally. You show up to your life like a builder, not a beggar, because identity determines action, and action builds destiny. It's not just what you do, it's why you do it and who you believe you are while doing it. Broke thinking says, I can't. Wealth thinking says, I'm building. Broke thinking says, I'll never have enough. Wealth thinking says, I'm learning how to grow what I have. It's a shift, and once you make it, everything else starts to fall in place. You've got to stop reacting to life and start setting the tone. You are the thermostat, not the thermometer. You set the standard. You decide what's possible. You determine what's acceptable. And that standard has to rise, because if you keep thinking like the old you, you'll keep living the old life. So here's what I want you to do. Build a daily financial identity routine. Speak it, plan it, execute it. Wake up and declare who you are. Speak like someone who knows their money is growing. Plan your week like someone building wealth, not waiting for it. Make every decision like it matters, because it does. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to be clear. Clear about who you're becoming, clear about what you want, clear about the actions that line up with that vision. No more random moves, no more hoping things change. You shift, you build. Let me give you one final truth. The most powerful move you'll ever make isn't doubling your income or landing the perfect investment. It's deciding to never think broke again. That decision will guide you. It will filter your actions. It will carry you through the hard seasons and help you keep building when others quit. That's how real wealth begins. That's how it lasts. So claim your identity. Own your future. Never be broke again. Not because you stumbled into success, but because you became someone who builds it. One decision at a time. One thought at a time. One day at a time. The new you is already here. It just needs to be activated. Start today.